Welcome to the Tree Book fan page. I'm Georgia Silvera Siemens, host of Your Bird Story.
And I'm Doug Still, host of This Old Tree podcast.
Folks, we have got a book review from Doug today. Doug, take it away.
Well, I've got an old school choice to talk about today. I guess I'm sort of an old school guy, I'm not sure. But this is a classic text for learning how to identify eastern trees. It's called The Illustrated Book of Trees, the comprehensive field guide to more than 250 trees of eastern North America. And it is by William Carey Grimm, and it was revised in 2001 by John Kartesz.
250 trees is a lot of trees.
Yes, it is.
Are you able to identify all 250 species in the wild?
Ideally, that's the goal. So the book as an ID book was assigned to me back in the early 90s when I took my first dendrology class on trees. Nowadays, of course, you can use an app on your phone to identify trees. You just snap a picture and up pops the name of the tree. And they're amazing. They're really good. But a serious beginning student of trees shouldn't just rely on an app. I feel you should learn about what you're looking at. And this book somehow presents the subject just right. It was first published in 1983, and the new revision added 30 new species and updated information. But even so, it's 24 years old. William Grimm was a botanist trained at the University of Pittsburgh. He was a teacher and author who helped bring the world of trees and plants to the layperson before the internet took over. The descriptions in the book are really short and to the point, and I like that. They don't overwhelm you, especially if you're out in the field in front of a tree, trying to identify a tree. It's helpful just to get right to the point. And I use my book so much that it was just completely dog-eared and pages falling out and handwritten notes. I used it all the time, and I learned my ID skills on this book.
How big is the book, Doug? Can you put it in your back pocket?
You cannot. It's a little weighty, but you can put it in a backpack.
Okay.
The trees are grouped by genus and family, so you can come to understand how they're related, but also to tell them apart at the species level. And there's about a 15-page narrative on how tree identification is done, from the overall shape or habit of trees to more detailed methods like the explanation of leaf shape, the patterns in the margins, twigs, buds, and bud scales, all sorts of things. And this leads into two excellent dichotomous keys. Do you know what a dichotomous key is?
I do.
Of course you do.
And I'm hoping that there's the in-leaf dichotomous key and the, winter, at least for a deciduous species.
There absolutely is. So dichotomous means a series of two choices, and it leads you from the general to the specific. And hopefully by choosing the right one in the fields, by looking closely, it will bring you to the correct species. And along the way, you're learning. You're learning what you're looking at. You're learning the morphology of trees. And I think that's really important. And you won't need an app if you use this book. Yeah, and there are also a series of very short keys in this book by genus. And lastly, what I love are the images. The images are line drawings. They're not photographs. And that may be a departure from what most people want, but I really like it because it makes you focus on what they're trying to teach you, the shapes of the leaves, the venation patterns. So I'm a big fan of line drawings when you're trying to learn.
Yeah, I am too. I think that, as you were saying, the focus is on shape and pattern. A photo of a species can look different depending on when you take that photograph and how great your equipment is. But
yeah, and it might go hand in hand with another book that has great photos.
So, Doug, you mentioned that a really key element of this guide is the short keys by genus. And I think that's really important, especially if you're just starting to think about identifying trees. You don't really need to start out with the goal of getting to species. I think getting to genus is also really important. So I'm really glad that this book focuses on this. Well, Doug, it seems like you're really passionate about this choice, and I'm actually gonna get my own copy. I love tree guides.
This is a good one, and I've given it away to people.
And listeners, if you like what you've heard, you can purchase Illustrated Book of Trees, the comprehensive field guide to more than 250 trees of Eastern North America by William Carey Grimm, using the affiliate link on this page. 10% goes to support our efforts, and 10% goes to support local bookstores. Thanks for joining us on the Tree Book fan page. See you next time.
And keep reading.